You've been through so much, and your story is one of my favorite in the
Oh,
world. And
thank
I know that sounds very, I guess, privileged to say that your story and your pain is such an inspiration to me.
you.
But I I remember clearly listening to your story years ago at the beginning of when I started getting into this whole journey in this game, and I just was so inspired by the
Oh,
amount that you were able to have gratitude through the hardest times
mhm.
that
It
allows you to
it
become who you are today and grow through it. You were living a life, fell into a hole, you climbed out, and you were bigger, better, stronger than before. And I think that's just so incredible. So I want to talk about that.
okay, well, thank you. Yeah, gratitude is my medicine. It's still to this day, even last night when I always say HALT, never get too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, and I
Mm.
was like 3 of those things when I got into Boston really late, no
Yeah.
food. And just getting cranky, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, I got so much to be grateful for. I have a bed to
Mm.
sleep in. I get to be here at this event, get to meet you, get to do this." And so it does, it gratitude is really alchemy. It changes what you can't do into what you can do, and what you don't have into what you do have.
Mm. Tell me a little bit about your story, your accident. What happened? You were living a normal-ish life. I mean, you had a lot that happened in your childhood, but you were on a motorcycle and your life just changed forever.
Yeah, I did not realize even in the moment just how it would completely change my life, but it was, I was living in California. It was a beautiful sunny day, California day. And I get on my motorcycle after work and I'm coming home and I'm just cruising down Ventura Boulevard and this SUV shoots out and T-bones me. I'm thrown 30 feet and I just remember sliding across the asphalt. And thankfully I was sliding on my back. I had a backpack on and I was sliding. And when I stopped, I looked down and my leg was just completely broken into pieces. And one of my first thoughts was, "Oh, this can't be good. I might have to train clients on crutches for a while." So I was already thinking about, well, what can I do to keep working? I didn't know that my femoral artery was severed and that how long I would be in the hospital.
Mm.
And thankfully, paramedics got there fast. I got rushed to the hospital. They ended up having to put me in induced coma because I had lost so much blood. My vital organs were shutting down and I was in so much pain. They couldn't control the pain. And so they put me in induced coma. And the first thing I learned when I woke up out of a coma was they said, "Y- Your leg is like a war wound.
Hmm.
I am so sorry. We need to amputate. You only have a 1% chance of saving it." And all I focused on was, okay, well, you're saying there is a chance. It might be 1%, but I will take that 1% and we need to find a doctor who's
Wow.
willing to take that chance.
Wow.
And it really took an act of God to get me transferred to a different hospital. And I met Dr. Wiss, who I had a team of doctors. I had to have like the vascular surgeon, the plastic surgeon because I
Hmm.
had to have a muscle flap and skin grafts and 34 surgeries later, and months in the hospital, they were able to save my leg. And I love that you talk about gratitude because there was a time in the hospital that I distinctively remember. I was by myself, and every 3 hours, they would have to come and change the bandages. They would rip these bandages off my leg that was
Hmm.
held together with steel bars. And it was excruciating pain. I mean, I could see the inside of my leg, and so I would watch the clock and didn't sleep because I knew they were about to come in and change the bandages, and I looked down one night, and I was like, "Wow, what if tomorrow is the day that they do have to amputate it? What if I don't wake up?" I was thinking the worst case scenarios.
Yeah.
What if my husband doesn't love me? What if I can't chase after my children? And I was like, "Wait, stop. I need to think about what I can do."
Hmm.
And I remember, I had this little notepad and I started writing down everything that I was grateful for. And it really shifted in that moment how I felt. And it's, we can't control what happens. We can't control what life throws our way, but we can control how we respond to it and our perspective on it. And I
Yes.
think the quickest and easiest way to shift your perspective is with gratitude. And that's why I still have a practice. And I say practice because I know sometimes it's hard when you're
Yeah.
going through something tough, but I also know how it can change your life. And that's why I talk about it so much. I even have like a 3 downloadable gratitude list on or journal on my website. I
Yeah.
have a group of ladies, we call ourselves the God Squad, and we text each other every single day what we're grateful for
That's amazing.
because it really shifts the way you feel about things.
Yeah.
And I know that like when I'm not feeling great or I'm down or feeling a little doubtful, like last night, I was like, okay, it's time for me to get no matter what's going on, I need to really think about what I'm grateful for
Mm.
and then reach out and share it.
Yeah. Just hearing you say that, I know you've probably spoken about this so many times. Does it ever feel, like, weird that you does it ever feel different now that you've spoken about this so many times? Do you ever feel like it is a more upstream battle to have gratitude for something that you, talk about and turn into a career? I've always wondered that. I had a friend the other day that came up to me and told me how much this show means to him right now, how much value he's getting out of it, how much he's learning, and he wanted to show me his favorite episode of the show. So he pulls out his phone and he pulls up YouTube, and when he gets to my account, he wasn't subscribed. Now, he thought it was so embarrassing. I kind of found it hilarious, but it prompted me to look at the statistics, and I found out that 62% of you are not subscribed to the channel. Now, that's all right. I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but if you get value out of the content that me and my team are putting out there for you, if you feel like this is improving your life and the Grateful Podcast is having an impact on you and you want it to keep getting better, then the one simple free thing that you can do for me and my team is hit that subscribe button. It shows the world that we have value to give, and it helps us continue to show up better each and every week, bringing on better guests, increasing the production quality, and putting out more content for you guys to continue to show up better in the world for tomorrow. So if you feel like this has any value for you, I would encourage you just to hit that button. And I really, really appreciate the impact that we're having on the world together. You're a part of this journey, and that's one of the coolest things. You have made an impact by being here, by sharing the knowledge and the wisdom that you gain, and by applying it into the world and creating a ripple effect. So thank you. Now let's get into the episode.
No, I guess the only thing that's different is sometimes when I hear people introduce me
Yeah.
and they say, appeared on the Today Show and the Doctors,
Yeah.
USA Today bestseller, TED Talk. And I'm just like, oh, they're talking about me? What?
The imposter syndrome of it.
Yeah, all those titles are great. But, like here, even at the conference, I'm talking about like finding joy through the journey of
Yes.
writing and publishing books. And I tell you what I really had to do was, the biggest lessons were not from the writing part of it. It was from really learning and believing that I had a story worth sharing because I didn't. I had doubt. I had imposter syndrome. I guess what you could say imposter syndrome. And I think instead of, I really had to become that author. And what that took was just doing it, writing every
Huh.
day,
Yeah.
writing every day. And then also seeking counsel and not opinion because
Talk to me about that. What's that mean?
well, when I first told everybody that was closest to me that, I had this dream, I want to write a book because I felt like if I could write a book and share this message, it would have everything that I went through, the months in the hospital, being diagnosed with an incurable nerve disease. Maybe that would give it purpose. I could help someone else. And so I told the people that I loved, people closest to me. And of course, they thought I had lost my mind. And if you looked
Huh.
at my life, everything in my life, said that I was not qualified to be an author. I mean, I didn't have any connections in the publishing industry. I had no social media to speak of.
Hmm.
I didn't know the first thing about writing a book, and I didn't even own a computer.
Wow.
And so I thought, I'm going to write a book. But not only that, like the people closest to me doubted me because they had never written a book. That's their opinion because they had never done it. And maybe they're saying that in fear, or they didn't want me to embarrass myself, or whatever it may be. They had never done it, so they didn't know how to do it. How could I do it?
Yeah.
And then when I went to someone who had published 76 books, he goes, I think that's a great idea. This is how you start.
Hmm.
So that's counsel. When you go
Yeah.
to someone who has done the things that you want to do, they can offer you solid guidance and
Mm.
suggestions, or even tell you next steps. But everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah. That's just incredible counsel. I'm not going to say advice because I think in my life that's been one of the biggest lessons I've learned just in the past year.
Really?
Being a 19-year-old in this journey, the people that I surround myself with on a daily basis, I've really had to make a conscious effort to shift that to people that have already done the thing, right? And I hang out with my friends all the time that have not been in the places that I want to go or not achieved the thing, but I don't ask advice anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone might have something to say that is useful,
Yeah.
but only really lean into it if it's someone that's in the position that you want to be in. I think that's a really hard differentiation where
Yeah.
everyone could be saying something that's very useful to you,
Yeah.
but it's most likely to be actionable and useful if it's coming from someone that is in the place that you want to be. And so I think that story of your friends and family that
I mean,
hadn't
they love
they did it
me,
from a place of love, right?
but they don't know because they've never written a book, you
Right.
know?
It was trying to protect you
Yeah.
from failure,
Yeah.
from letting yourself down,
Mhm.
all of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I have people ask me all the time, like, "Well, how'd you get a publisher?" And I really, instead of chasing opportunities, I really focused on building relationships.
Hmm.
And how I got my publisher was I was in the elevator and I see this guy in a suit. He's got beads of sweat coming down his head. He's booking it, trying to, the elevator doors are closing, and I stick my leg out the elevator to hold the door open. I mean, I sacrificed my leg for this guy who I didn't know. He gets in the elevator. We start talking. Lo and behold, he's a publisher.
No way.
So his company published my book. Then I volunteered at Dress for Success and hit it off with the president of that chapter in Hollywood. And we became hiking buddies, and we just hiked every week. And she was one of the first people that I let, read the manuscript. And she goes, you know what? My college roommate she is a publicist. Let me connect you. Call the publicist. It was Muhammad Ali's publicist.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she didn't wanna work with me because
Wow.
I had a really small publisher, and she was just used to working with New York Times
Right.
bestsellers. And so she goes, I'll get you on, I got a program you can do for publicity. And I said, no, 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 no. I said, I want you. I said, you're a badass. I want to work with you. And I don't think she was used to somebody calling her a badass or something. Can I say that on this show?
Yes, you
Okay,
can.
okay.
It's
And
encouraged.
okay, good, good. And she goes, there's no guarantees, but okay, I'll take you on. And because of her and the work that she does, I got on the Today Show. So my
Oh my
first book became
gosh.
a bestseller. And I really believe it was, well, because I was on national TV. And I'm only saying that to share that if somebody like me can write a book, I started out with no computer. Like I wrote 90% of my book in a notebook, in a spiral notebook. So if somebody like me can do this, you can do it too. So if you have it on your heart to share your message, there is somebody out there, probably a lot of people that need to hear your story, and they're going to learn from you. It could be the roadmap for somebody to get through a challenge or adversity or
Mm.
something. And so I only share that to say that if I can do it, you can do it.
Thank you. And I think the most powerful thing that I took away from that story is that you got it because you gave to people. You gave people opportunity in the most random moment. In the unseen hours, you showed up and you put your foot in the door for somebody else. And it's those moments, it's the unseen hours where you're being kind and you're giving to people that always come back to you.
Yeah, I mean, giving without expectation,
Mm.
you just never know, even, like, coming to an event like this, and you think you might be coming to meet a speaker, but do you know how I even got here?
No, tell me.
So, I was speaking at another event, and I met Nick. I was in the gym. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and we both couldn't so we both work out. We met each other in the gym at a
Yeah.
hotel. And I think that when you are really in alignment with your values and your vision, you start to attract the right people.
Mhm.
So I like when I met you, I was like, "Oh, I like him. Yes, I want to meet you." Um, and so I met him at an event in the gym, and then ended up here getting to speak at the event.
It's
And so
amazing.
you just never know who you're going to meet, but
Mm.
if you are really doing your best to be kind and add value and give instead of take, you just get blessings. And, my grandfather used to always say, "You got a shovel in your hand. You can lean on it and pray for a hole, or you can start digging." And I pray, but you gotta start digging. You gotta start working. You can't expect for things just to come and fall into your lap, and people might say, "Well, that's really lucky that you got a publisher," or "That's lucky that you got a publicist and you got on the doctors and the Today Show," but I really think your hard work puts you where your blessings can find you,
Oh,
and so you got to have that vision, but you have to work towards it and be
yeah.
in alignment with what your values and your vision are.
I love that. I love that. I think that's the perfect place to close out, but I just wanna say how grateful I am for you, and same thing, I felt your energy, through a screen, and it just is so more
Oh,
it's exuberant here, so I'm so grateful that
thank
you got
you.
to come on the show, even if it's for 15 minutes, and, yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
Yeah, amazing. Where can my audience find you, and the Book Thinkers audience find you?
Well, you can see the cutest little golden doodle in the world in my stories on Instagram. My pup
Great.
is my fur baby, Amberly Lago Motivation. But if you want the free downloadable gratitude journal, or I have a joy, like a playbook to spark more joy in your life, just go to amberlylago.com and you can get those downloadable freebies.
Go do it. Amberly's awesome. We did it! We made it to the end of the episode. Thank you so much. And thank yourself for showing up and committing to yourself to better yourself and your life for you and the people around you tomorrow. It's really impressive. I know with the attention spans that we have today, showing up for an hour or however long today's episode was is really impressive. So thank you. I have one ask for you. Before we go, before we move on from our days together, who did you think of today while you were listening, while you were watching? Who popped into your head during the best moment of today's episode? Whoever it is, you can send a time-stamped version of this episode with that certain moment that made you think of them to that person. And when you do that, they're going to feel so seen by you. They're going to feel so loved by you. I know it can be a little weird, but you can just say, hey, this made me think of you. And when you do that, you create a ripple in the world. You serve. You make this world a better place. So I encourage you, if you had someone that popped up today that you think of with this episode, who you think this could help better their lives and the lives of the people around them, then please send this over to them. Create a ripple. Make an impact. That's how we change the world. One person at a time. That's my goal. I want to change your life. I want you to go and change others. That's how a legacy is built. So I thank you for showing up today for yourself and the people around you to make this world a better place. Don't forget that no matter what you're going after, what gap you have between where you are and where you want to be, no matter how big it is and no matter how much anxiety that might create for you or how much excitement that creates for you, there's a present moment. Stay here. Be grounded. Be grateful for all the things and the people you have around you as you continue to go and serve the world and make this world better. I'm proud of you, and I'll see you next week. Stay grateful. Stay hungry. This has been the Grateful Podcast. Thank you.